There is a big picture plan, and that is just being together, working dogs in ways that will bring up things to the surface that is, would say, blind spots. Bringing up blind spots. We do it in a non-conflict way, and in between those things, there is a lot of problem solving.
Here. What'd you think?
Good. Beginning was a little weird.
Okay, yeah. Good. Why was it weird?
Thinking back, I didn't really give him any direction to start. Just kind of walked in there.
Well, the problem is that you tried to give him some kind of direction. That's the problem. Did you bring him in on a choker?
No.
So you brought him in on a post.
Yeah.
Right, all the way through.
Yeah.
That in turn creates him to do what? Just everything, right? It's everything with that, especially that dog. It's everything. So I did say don't bring him in on choke, but also too, you have many other tools that is not a post, okay?
Could have brought him in on a hip lead. Yeah.
I wouldn't even say that, but maybe just on a flat.
Okay.
Or on the harness, that piece on the top part of the harness.
Okay.
Right, that way you had a little bit of control, but it also too, he's got a little opposition reflex, but you've got a little bit of control. This, it's not, it's kind of chaotic, that's what you have.
Yeah.
Okay, that being said, it is what it is. So what? Who cares? The problem arose when you did what? At the threshold, at the portal. Remember, you haven't started yet. You're in there, and he's still, whatever, what'd you do?
Try to get him to focus on the hallway.
That's the problem. You just tried to do something. And you did it by audio. You did it by touch. You did it by everything. At this point, he's sensitive. He's like, boom. The more and more that you try to do things from behind, the more and more he does what? Huh? What?
Yeah.
What do you want me to do? Well, I want you to face forward. Yeah, but you keep touching me. I'm not even exposed. The doorway's shut. He sees the hallway doors. He sees another hallway down to nothing. Here and there. You see what I'm saying? Hallway, this way. So, and what I would have done was just back up to where he's in front of the hallway, and then you allow things to unfold.
Okay.
But other than that, your thought on everything else?
Get him! 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 Oh, yes! Good boy! Get him! Get him! Get him! Get him! Oh, good boy! Good boy! Get him! Oh, yes, sir! Get him! Get him! Good boy! Get him! Oh, yes! Yes! Oh! Get him! Get him! Get him, get him, get him! Oh, yes, sir! Good boy! Good boy! Back! Close! Pull again. Good. Good boy. Good. Yeah, he drove you, pushed you through the doors. Wasn't worried about his muzzle after that initial get up. Release, I thought was pretty good. He kind of like paused for a minute on like the preparatory command, like buck, los, and I didn't have to do any sort of pull, I guess, about to roll the clip, but you thought otherwise?
I think you're reaching just a tad.
Okay.
On when you said buck, I want him to disconnect. The disconnect can be anticipation. I'm okay with that. But he's not anticipating the release. Now, he stopped. I agree. And yes, you are correct. But on a dog that's possessive like how he is, just stopping is not going to be enough. It was at a certain point, but it's not enough.
Okay.
He needs to do what? What word am I looking for? Commit.
Okay.
He needs to commit. When we talk about intuition, it's a big word. It's a very important word, by the way, when we're dealing with all of these dogs. If you're going to a school and you're working every day, you have things that you do. We don't want to make patterns. We don't want to create routines, even though I said that word. We always want to mix things up, right? And not be predictable. But my point is that what it is that you're looking for intuition-wise is like, why is my dog acting this way? Why is it that I'm feeling, because the dog is a bridge from the universe to you. Mm-hmm. It's a control center. It's a feeling that is a part of you, and that's what that dog is for. The sensitivity through the senses. So if that dog has a weird movement or is doing things that are not characteristically of the dog, that's the dog telling you something. Gotcha. The dog's not going to turn and look and talk to you and say telepathically and go, hey, Joshua, there's a person that's about ready to come, and I'm going to go, oh, okay, thank you, everybody, let's go. It doesn't work that way. So my point, the dog can be intuitive all day long, but if the person is not open and have that understanding, guess what? There's a block, and it doesn't happen. If the handler is not open, and the handler is in his mind state, and the handler does this, well, the dog is going to operate in that mode as well. But if the handler is open and the handler has an understanding, and then in turn, the dog will, not magically, but through work and through, right, and through all this stuff, that it goes through the handler. So that's how I worked this is, let me see the dog communicates to me by action, not by, oh, the dog's telling me something. No, the dog is showing me through action. Okay, this is, I say, hey, this is what it is that we need to do. I'm going to help you do this and this and this. Either you take it for what it's worth and you move on, or you continue the process. But in turn, it's slowly evolving the handler. That's the deal. I just want to just make it very important. Intuition is the end state. This is where we want to be, right? But it's through the handler. I'm opening the dog up and subconsciously working through the handler to get the handler able to receive and be open.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that way, small little things happen throughout their life that needs to be released. And I could be a person to help them out through that. Or I'm just the dog guy. I'm cool with being the dog guy. But at the end of the day, the choice is yours. This is what you would call the brain of the dog. This particular room, we have the pool. What does the pool create? Whatever it is that your perception of it is. It is unequal space when you walk. It is float. It is depth, density. It's whatever it is that the dog perceives. Either way, it could resort into conflict, resistance to what is. And to teach dogs to work through that, and the handlers and the trainers to be there with the dogs to work through that. So this is not a place to do bite work. This is not a place for a sight picture experience for training. This is in-depth work of conflict. This room would be where the recorded portion of the dog. So we do all the actions out there, and we come in here and we will freeze frame an action, because dog training in this work, it's seconds. And for the most part, my interpretation of a second, what I see is different from the handler. So it's very important to have a place to where you can go back, rewind, and look. Because once again, there are very few handlers that can slow down time, that I actually can understand where the issue comes in seconds. So I need help sometimes. And this is where this place is. So a lot of video feedback. And when you come through this side, this is where the action takes place. And this represents the heart center of the canine is here. So we utilize doors as a portal into the egoic sense. Okay, so think about it, this space that you see, that's here is the heart center, and now you have a threshold. Behind this threshold creates a reality, creates a scene. And in this scene, it depends, whatever, each canine is different. Each canine expresses different things, has perceptions just like people, there's perceptions. So what we would want to be is to strive, is to have this building as far as all open doors and have one big open space. That is a very, very deep level of an end state. Because if a canine comes in this room, through here, comes in this room, and it goes and it sees this threshold and doesn't see anything, goes in here, sniffs here, he's hunting, sees this threshold, and he goes to this threshold, it comes back to this threshold, then all of a sudden the dog starts barking. That means there's something that is trained, conditioned, a conditioned response, or trained for this canine to indicate on this door, and when this door opens, it's something that the canine has resistance to. Also notice that in this state, there is no dead end. Every room always has an out. So a canine will never be caught and will never be forced to stay in a room. There's always an out. So having an out in each room, and what that translates to the mind is that you have a choice to be in that room and to weather the storm and to push through that room. Think about it as if I work through this room and then exit into the other portion of another room, that there's maybe the light at the end of the tunnel. But what we don't want to do is have the canine enter a room and then turn around and come back out, because it is too tough. But at the end of the day, there's always a choice, and it's not done by force. So there's a lot of different things, even though this is very basic, there's a lot of very unique structures and unique things that we can do to manipulate the environment, because that's what's training the canine, is the environment itself. That's what's creating the conditioning, is the environment itself. Not me, not my words, but the environment that I create is what's training the canine. You hook him up.
Yep.
You wait for me.
Yep.
All right, you wait for me. He comes in this door, boom, engagement, engagement, engagement. This is an inward opening door to you. So you got to make sure, what I want to see is when I come in through this door, this way, I want this dog on me, on me, on me, on me, and you slowly pull to here.
Right.
Don't pull him all the way back
Right.
there and be like, and then, because what is he going to do?
He's gonna turn around and look at me.
No, maybe, but not yours. What is he going to do?
He's gonna sit there and
Well, here, I'll show you what, okay, I'll show you what will happen. Just be careful, this is an inward opening door. Okay, boom, he engages, boom. Come in through this way, boom, he's driving, he's driving. Now, if you would, he engages, but if you pull him back to there and I do this, and let's say I shut the door, or try to, he could come in, and if that door's shut, or if I have my foot on the door because I wasn't ready, you're just wrecking his nose, right? So just have him here, so that way it's just a push, right? Boom, comes in, engages, bam, 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 boom, 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 bark, boom, boom. You still have the leash, I may go like this, I may slow down. If that's the case, you let him drive. If I go slow, slingshot, boom, he's pushing, engaging, pushing, pushing, pushing. And then you turn to here, and then you drop the leash here.
okay.
This will be the end right here.
All right. So there's no chasing like you
There's
did
no, you're not dropping the leash.
Gotcha. All right.
It's all structured, okay?
Gotcha.
And your release, just make sure it's deliberate. If it's questionable, then it's not a good release.
All right.
All right, okay?
You wanna get a muzzle check?
Yeah, I'll get it. I'm gonna set these doors up.
All right. boy. Yes. Yes. Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. Yes. Yes. Good boy. Good boy. Get him, get him, get him, get him, yes. Good boy. Good boy, get him. Good boy. Yes. Get him, get him, get him, yes. Good boy. Good boy, yes. Yes, good. Get him. Get him. Good boy. Get him, get him, get him, get him, yes. Yes. Good boy. Good boy.
All right. Yes.
Yes. Eudoris. It's Eudoris. 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 Los. Good.
I had to cue you. I don't need to show you. I had to cue you what it is that I want from you. From the get him, get him, get him.
Right.
Yes. What am I implying? What it is it that I'm matching? What?
You're matching the energy.
Well, but what energy do I want to bring out from the canine? What emotion?
Fight.
Fight starts, correct. Fight is initiated by fight, transitions into what?
Oh, you're gonna tell
Excitement.
Me. Okay.
Okay? So yes, you're right. When he's going on a deployment, he's going into this. He's in hunt mode, primordial hunt. Sight pictures, feelings, repetition, conditioning. Yes, he finds something, he barks. I don't know what's behind this. It could be a guy with a gun. It could be a guy passive. It could be a guy, it could be a kid. Does it really matter at this point?
Right.
No, it doesn't.
No.
It is fight.
Right.
It stemmed from that. It gets released. He engages. And then it turns into excitement. So we're building the excitement.
Right.
Now, did I tell you this process from the beginning? No, it's always been fight, right? I wanted to keep him in fight, which is sensitive, which is
Right.
it's on the borderline of, do you want to dance with that?
Right.
Okay, right?
Right.
And then in turn, we do possession to help flatten that, as opposed to me just saying we want excitement.
Yeah.
Does conflict promote fight? Yes, it does. Conflict's in the realm of fight. So we're doing this in a way of reducing a whole lot of things. At this stage, it's important.
Gotcha.
Okay, all right. So
I just remember last time, was taking myself out of it because, you know, he reacts quite a bit to me. So that's the reason why I was trying to stay silent and just let him do his thing.
Right. Understood. But if we're trying to get him in excitement,
Yeah.
and you have the intention of fight, he's going to stay in fight.
Gotcha.
Because that's the feeling that he gets. That's right.
Right.
But since we know this is a controlled environment, and we know that this is practice, this is all these things, you can go, this is what I want you to be in, excitement.
Okay.
So that way, practicing all these things doesn't just turn into conflict in itself.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
All right. So even without you knowing any of that, I didn't have to tell you anything. Flow is me going, yeah, and then what'd you do? You carried it on. You did it.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about much of anything. We just need to do it, right?
Right.
Okay.
I noticed he has been getting sticky.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't as bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad. What I like was you picked your time on the release. You picked it. You didn't say, Eudoris, look, yeah. You didn't do it on your time.
Right.
Right? So you understood he was committed. And what are you wasting your energy for? You didn't. I like the fact that you didn't take the leash out. You didn't make everything perfect. Okay, everything's good. You didn't do all those things. You just left it the way you had, just enough to do the things, and anything after that will wind out, right? So that's good. And this portion of it right here, if it would have been me, when he flaked you on the Eudoris, you could tell he's not committed. You could tell, which is a great. I would have just stepped forward 1-2 steps this way and get ahead of him.
Okay.
That's all I would have done. Not to say you were in a bad position, but I'm just trying to say
I could have been in a better position. Yeah.
Isn't working.
Right.
Why is that? I don't know. I can't tell you.
Yeah.
All I know is he's in it. What were you doing? What were you thinking?
I was going to try to do the throw.
Okay.
And try to catch him because.
Okay. Okay. Just be careful. Just on this right here, okay?
Yeah.
Because you did that. I didn't go back far enough. You had a lot of opposition reflex. And that's when you're doing it on this style. We got to be careful. Remember, because they're looking for any excuse to not just any excuse to stay in it.
Right.
That's it right there.
Gotcha.
And I know what it is you're doing. You're repositioning. You're doing this, but you've got to have that loosey goosey because if not, that's a slingshot, a little mini sling. That's what he's going off of. That. Yep. Okay.
Right.
Not that bad, but hold on. But what was the cue? You went more verbal and said his name at the right time. So, and I also think Eric helped you to establish a little bit of momentum
He did,
in that
100%.
direction. And then you, in turn, when you saw that, you took it and you said Eudoris. And then that's when he committed.
Yeah.
He didn't commit because he's doing this. He committed because it just kind of worked out in that time, and that's what we're looking for. Level of excitement is massive. We had a lot of hits throughout these doors. We had a lot of things. He's on opposition reflex. It took him a little bit. He did it without force. He did it on his own. He helped him a tad, but that's okay.
All right.
All right, okay. But just be careful.
Yep.
How long does it take for a muzzle to get like that?
Oh, you have to ask those guys. But yeah, we use muzzles a lot. And ironically, this dog don't have most of his teeth, and I don't wonder why, right?
Right.
But that's your Holland's finest. Is that dog? But, hey, I want to do it in the kennel. Drop the leash. Drop the leash. Yeah, Eric, we screwed the pooch on dropping that leash. It just seemed like, that dog's not used to the back tie type stuff. It's like you both were hindrances.
It's just a verbal miscommunication.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
No, not just that. The only thing that I would say is just go at his pace. You tend to hook her back too much, okay? As opposed to taking that extra 2 or 3 steps or giving into whatever it is that he was going to do. I just wanted to see one thing. Other than that, you didn't notice anything? Were you guys watching it?
Yeah.
Did you notice anything?
Definitely a lot more intensity.
Well, yeah, he's on excitement mode like no other. I mean, that's what we're going to get at. Where you at, Jay? I mean, that's what he is, right? I mean, that's what an active shooter canine is.
Right.
Or just that scene without the canine. It's intense. But what happened is that once when he got confused down the hallway, he didn't know what direction it was, I shot, and he instantly responded to that direction. So he's going off of straight audio at this point, which is he's supposed to. The direction of the gunfire gives him direction of movement, the sound of the gunfire. Now, in bigger places like schools, it echoes. And I understand that it's not always the case. He picks the right direction, but that's what the handler is for. Yeah, anyway. Fundamental building search. The light draws the dog's focus, attention down to the light, and that's where the odor is coming out of. Okay? So we're just gonna do multiple drills, so one dog will go 3 or 4 times. There's a lot of things that are going on to where once when the dog goes in this room in an engagement, maybe I have this door stay open, or I might have the door stay shut. With you guys, when you guys have seasoned dogs, I will probably keep the door shut, so that way the dog doesn't anticipate or want to go or commit to where he just had the last fight, right? So what happens is that if we would leave the door open, the dog comes in and then actually lets that dog know that there's nothing in there, as opposed to what does he have to do?
Smell the seam.
He's got to smell the seam, and he's got to smell the residual that is in there. So the dog can show us by action that there's a difference between residual odor, something that was there, and then something that is actually there. Present moment odor versus past odor. There's a difference. One is a memory and one is peace.
You'll hear the cone reference, because the odor starts right here, but as it gets pushed, it gets wider and wider and wider and wider. And so the dog has to work his way through that cone back to source. So right here you can see the dog is going down to the door seam and sniffing. That's the reason why you have the lights on in there, because what it does is it gives the dog a reference of where the odor is coming out, right? Because the odor is going to come through the path of least resistance, and that's going to be around the door seams. And so the dog, this is a foundation exercise whenever he first starts out with dogs, is putting the lights on to let the dogs know, hey, it gives them a visual stimulus to come down to the door seam to sniff there, okay? Now, the thing about it is so you see the dog was reacting over here to this one. Unless you know exactly what the odor is doing and how it's flowing in there, you know, he's right here behind this door. But the way the odor flows, the odor may be being pushed over here. So the dog's getting odor right here, but where he barks at that door, there's nobody there, okay? So he has to work, the dog has to work through it, and you see him coming back over here right now, you know, working this edge, trying to locate the actual source of the odor. So you can still see where probably the odor's being pushed to that right side where, you know, the decoy is actually on the left.
He'll get there. Stop, Spaghetti, don't move. I don't want any help from anybody.
He's just a little confused right now.
Because he's opposite side still, yeah, he's just looking. Yeah.
He'll work through it. Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, yes. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy, buddy. Buck. Buck.
Willigan.
Oh, you missed it.
Oh, that was a little frustrating at first. Recovered at the end. It seemed like once he started getting a little frustrated, he became a little hyper-focused on his muzzle when he wasn't getting what he wanted. The first door, it seemed like he just wasn't smelling that door. He smelled every single door, but kept missing that first door. And then the time that he actually did give a good breathe in of the door, it seemed like he got it, but
Typically, we do the first room to the right. Right-hand turns on dogs are the typical. So, yes, I switched everything out and made it on the door on the left. Not only that, it's the door on the left that's closest to you. Typically, the dogs don't want to come near you, right? So, that in itself was played out as such, knowing that that was going to be an issue. If I wanted to make everything great, I would have set it up for the guy to be in the first room to the right, and everything is amazing. It took him a little bit to recover, but one key signs on this is what did the dog resort to during this time when he was trying to find it. It wasn't that the fact that he missed it. There was a couple times he put his nose there, but his focus and his attention really was over here on this side. And him putting his muzzle down was just semantics. You know, he had to commit to the door. I guess that's what word we're looking for. He had to commit to the door for him to finally understand. But what did he do to you, though, or what happened? I'll just tell you, he turned and looked at you, and he's waiting for something.
yeah.
And yes, what I was trying to kind of inform you to do is that as this dog comes and he's walking towards you, you back up to allow him to come closer to you, and then you go out of picture, you step through to push the dog to your direction. To in turn what? Put the dog at the door without you pointing at it or whatever. We're communicating by movement, by action. Okay? But you start stepping to the right, it just got weird. Well, that's what happens when we're not all connecting all the dots, right? The dog's not connecting, you're not connecting, you and me are not connecting. So in turn, what's the dog do? He goes, I'll sit and look at you and I'll wait for you to tell me what it is that you want.
Yeah.
Right? Which most tend to help. It's like, why? Okay, when you're doing this and you're working on a deployment or for real, yeah, you can help your dog, sure. And you do it by specific things, and sometimes you might have to do something that is very deliberate, fair enough.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not telling you, you hold a TAC team, hey, you guys wait. I want him to alert on this door right here. I know the guy's in there, but just wait. I want the dog. You don't do that, right? But in this particular controlled environment, we want the dog to learn something, or we want to unbubble, or we want to bring up to the surface what is this potential problem. Is it just because it's just because of the placement of the door? Or is it something that I feel will go on the next one? But the point is, we do nothing. We sit there, the dog's waiting for you, he's waiting for you. We wait the dog out until the turn, the dog does what? Okay, I'll keep going, because he's getting nothing by you, right? So therefore, it's like, okay. So we didn't do anything, he did that twice, right?
On that topic, do you think that he's doing that because I'm too involved sometimes?
He did it, and the first time he did it is because you were trying to do something. You were moving, you were going back and forth, I started moving, so the dog was like, what are you guys doing? So in turn, we became a distraction. By doing what it is that I was trying to get you to do, you didn't understand exactly what it is that I tried to get you to do. To in turn, that drew the dog to do that the first time, because we were dancing. And the dog was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you going to give me a ball? Are you going to tell me what to do? Okay, I'll sit then, because this is a release to get a ball, some sort of response.
Right.
So we distracted the dog. The dog put that attention on that, and then that's the response that we got. It is, so what? We can articulate why the dog did that. So what? Who cares? The dog recovered on his own. That's the most important thing. We drew the attention. The dog disengaged from us by choice. That's the most important thing. Okay. He engaged. He finally committed to the door. He engaged. you know, we had no issues with muzzle fighting, right? Just the first engagement, he went to this. He stopped engaging and he went to this. That's a release. In this particular situation, in this particular environment, that is a release. Now, the muzzle distracted him, so what?
Because if the muzzle wasn't on, he'd be engaged.
He would be engaging.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
So in turn, it ain't no different than somebody hitting electric. It ain't no different than somebody hitting tone, meaning the disconnect to take the dog's focus off that. And if that particular case, because he doesn't, and this is the reason why I'm saying, he doesn't do that all the time, does he?
No.
Because in this particular situation, he did it, you take it.
Okay.
It's like, okay, if you, the dog, I'm talking to the dog, if you make the choice to disconnect because of your muzzle, then that is a disconnect, a release from the person, and we go. Does that make sense? So you take it.
Okay.
Because it's not common. If that dog did it all the time, I wouldn't say take it. I wouldn't say that. We would do other things to keep that dog not distracted. But because of that dog did it in this particular case, you take it. It's very important. You know, down the road, if I'm not here and he always do that, well, you don't do that. But in this moment in time, you take it. Because all the other times he didn't do it, did he?
No.
Okay. So you
Tracking.
take it. We tracking. That's when I was like, Bulligan. So that was a pimp to you to go, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, I caught that vibe. You were like,
Okay.
let's roll.
Yeah, because he's disconnected. That's it. It's over.
Okay.
All right, we tracking?
Yeah.
Right here on this door is where the bad guy was. So you see the dog going back and checking here because he's like, wait a minute, this is just where I just found the bad guy, okay? Well, as you see, he checked it, and he was like, okay, well, his scent's no longer there. So now I have to continue the hunt on down through the door seams to try to find where he is now at. He just passed it up. He was going too fast, and he didn't stop right here to check this door seam. He went by it, but he didn't stop long enough to actually check it. He cruised right on by it. Now you see him over here to the right side again, where he said initially I got it here, but that was when Spaghetti was in this left side door. Now look, he's right there. Now he just left it. He's not getting his nose further enough down there on that seam to actually, and giving a pause there for essentially to being able to smell Spaghetti's odor. And like you said, you don't know what Spaghetti's odor is doing either. You don't know if it's actually pushing out into the hallway, or if the wind is actually, or how air is moving in there, if it's actually blowing inside that room, pushing Spaghetti's odor this way. So he's got to actually really take his time and try to locate Spaghetti right there.
And why is he called Spaghetti?
Because how do you say his last name? Like Sanguinetti or something like that?
Sanguinetti.
Yeah, Sanguinetti. It's just easier to say Spaghetti.
slide forward again a little bit on the, push forward on the door, meaning you're in the back. I see your shadow. Move your shadow forward underneath the handle.
Get him! Yes! Yes! Good boy! Good boy! Good boy! Back! Loose! Pull again.
When residual odor, memory, and present odor, and all these things, and what that odor is. But what it looked like to me is he was expecting definitely that room again, because that's just where he had the fight again, or that engagement, which is an expectation, and it's a feeling. It is a pleasurable feeling to that dog, right? Because it's based out of desire. Desire is a person, place, or thing. We've taken that dog with a suit, which is the addiction. We have diluted that addiction into a person, which is a person, place, or thing, which is that end state, right? Now, the good thing is that if he's not wearing a suit and it's a person, that's great, right? That desire or that focus is on that and not just a suit. So that's good. But the expectation and that pleasurable feeling that it gives Buck, he wants that. He wants that of what it was. So in turn, that door is where he kind of anticipated, kept going to it. So then all the other doors, he did that again. Sniff, 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 nothing, nothing, even though there was a dude there. Sniff, 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 nothing, nothing, because he was working in past. He's working in his mind. Because
In memory state.
he was just going off of that last push and just doing conditioning things, semantics, 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 semantics. But yet there's a person there, but he's stuck. He's stuck of what he had. Think about that last sexual response that he had, that desire that he had, he's stuck in it. So he's looping back to that. Okay. It's the exact same thing if he's looping back to the first door, like what happened in the beginning, because that's always what's happened. That's a conditioned response as opposed to, that's more of a body response over in habit. But he didn't do that on the second run. What was he doing? Yes. Yes. But if we had Sensei breathe through breath through the door, it probably would have kept Buck on that door. But the fact is that we did not entice him. We are just being right here in this moment, and we're not breathing air to seduce him to that desire. But because he's clicked in that past, feeling, it's just semantics at that point. And we stay there and we wait until he snaps out of it. He snaps out of the loop and do the things that we want him to do, which is be in the present moment. Take your time on each door, be methodical, don't just and then back to that.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. Now, I noticed Eric I just told him to shift. I did that, just tried to help with, it's a natural movement is a help for the dog, right? So when I say, hey, shift on the door, it's a natural shift, right? It's me going, first I noticed the shadow. I noticed Buck went to here a lot. There was no, he wasn't, meaning Eric was not here. So I tell Eric to shift forward on the door, so that way, at that time, it's a natural shift. It's just this. It's just somebody shifting body to in turn will cue the dog, will help the dog to go, right? And that's ultimately what happened. Just be in the center of the door. This one's some bitch. It's all good. Let's go to the back right one. This will be the last one for him.
Yes. Yes, yes. Woo! Yes, sir. Good boy. Yes. Good boy. Bulligan.
The third one. Let's talk about that. I want to hear your response real quick on that, and then we'll go to Jake.
Pretty quick.
For what reason?
Oh, I think the first two, he's like, oh, I actually need to sniff these seams, not just go through the semantics like you said. And so
What I interpreted, he was more air scenting. So as he went back there, he was working.
Like
so
a
him
track
going,
almost?
yeah, air scenting, tracking. Tracking to me would be more of a lower behavior, but air scenting, he was just going back and forth. And if you notice, he went to the right side, nothing, and then he dove down to the left side. The environment or whatever happened, it helped him. You could say it clicked. You could say, I can't tell you the case. I just know is that third one was good, right? It was a good one to end it on. As he went in, he was working. As opposed to the first two runs, there wasn't a whole lot of scent through the hallway. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Eric went in and there was not a whole lot of scent to help him. It was actually just nothing, right? And because there was no odor going in, the dog had to really go to the seams of those doors. Does that make sense? So now Eric kind of went in and boom, it kind of like slingshot that dog down in there. But the fact is that he was using his nose. We saw it. I did anyway, right? And we can articulate it on here. And once when he does that every time, then we're in good shape, right? Not just be stuck in a sight picture or be stuck in here, because then he has expectations at that point. Now it's like, okay, what is it that I'm expecting? What is it that, well, typically it's this, and that's what he's doing. It's cheating. And that's typically what you get with desired-based dogs. That's the difference. That's it. That's the difference. Maybe. Until the next round. But we don't do it this way a whole lot, right?
right.
We don't do much stuff. We do it in a different way. Not to say that this dog would never search in a real world deployment. Right now we're getting to the root of things, which is important. But it doesn't mean that that's how it's going to go. It just means, hey, we've got to work at the root. We've got to work at that piece. Even though the physical, this portion of the reality is going to be fine, meaning your deployments, what it is that you do day to day, right? And that once when we work on this, then this will flower even more, become more efficient, more understanding to the dog. Because when the dog has clarity, life becomes easy.
They. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Eudoris. Eudoris. Yes.
There you
Good
go.
boy.
Good timing. I go where the first spot was, where you were with Pulse. The first spot. Okay, don't go where I put you. Okay.
Ready? Stop. Yes.
I'm pretty pleased. I think I didn't like how he went really long on the initial send.
Yeah.
That's one thing that he's been doing, has been going long, because we haven't went back to the foundation like this in a long time. We've just been doing, in training, deployment kind of searches.
Yeah.
And I think I've been starting him too far back, and that's the reason why he's pushing long now. A lot of times on deployments as well, whenever I'm sending him, I am sending him into a big wide open thing. We always take the first room, get a foothold, see what we got, and then he's pushing out ahead of us as we're moving.
It's a recovery thing for sure. Meaning how quickly does he take the recovery? That's everything.
That is one good thing about him. He does come back and check in. Like, he realizes if I'm not pushing with him, he's like, oh shit, I got something back here.
Yeah.
He wants me to check
Well,
out.
but that's the value of team movement from the beginning. That's the value of your style of work, which should be the same across the board.
Right.
I mean, that should be the footprint of a law enforcement, as opposed to, well, when we do this, we're only with. It's like, dude, you're missing the point of where there's value with that. But so the recovery was good.
Yeah.
He did sniff that door twice, I think, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
So he got caught in the loop.
Right, he did.
And he is more possessive than, let's say, E18 or a standard regular clone, I would say, because you have a clone of a clone,
Right.
who has more experiences in possession, and you're building more on the suit side. So he got caught in that loop, but he recovered and came back pretty quick and got it, right, and picked it up. And it looked like he did the exact same thing Buck did on that third one.
Oh,
like
100%.
he caught odor. So there's something within that environment that's trapping that dog and helping that dog do a scent work, which is great because the dog is not just doing visual from the doors and the scenes, that they are both transitioning into a nose work within a present moment situation, as opposed to going, well, my past experiences is just all visual connected and this and this and this. They're transitioning into true primordial hunt, which is, okay, if I'm going to use the audio, I will use the audio. If I'm going to use my nose, or I'm going to use my visual senses, right? So they're using all of them, and they both, boom, that third one. And so that was good to watch.
Let me ask you about the second one. The second door. I don't feel like he skipped it. I don't remember. I may be misremembering, but it seemed like he nailed it.
Yeah, I think he went long and then kind of came back.
To it.
There was no issues.
He didn't like the first time he put his nose down there, he was like, okay, right here it is. It's not like
he just went long, came back, and then he went to the first one, this one, and then he caught it, and then he went in.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I was making sure I remembered that right.
Yeah, so it was good. The one thing that I liked was your anticipation of the release. So once when you hooked him up, he knew it was over.
Yeah.
And it was over. And you didn't have to say anything.
Right.
That's it.
Last hallway, you remember there was this door on the right. Well, over here, there's not a door on the right this time to kind of draw this dog into. But as you all heard in the debrief with Joshua, the dog's still kind of stuck in a loop. He's still just, something's got him stuck in a loop, and he's just not quite figuring things out right now. Now he's coming back up because he's checked all these doors now. He's going to go over there now. He's messing with the muzzle a little bit, and that's just could be some frustration. Man, he about had it right there. He's going down to the door seams really well. He's kind of right there. He's just kind of stuck in a loop. It's not that he's not wanting to work. He's just a little confused. Now he's right there. Look. Oh.
It's like he's tired.
Yeah.
he doesn't get it right away, you know, just kind of give up on it. So he's just basically going through the motions.
Yeah. He's kind of messing with that muzzle a little bit. He's a little frustrated, a little confused.
So this is basically your.
Now he's trying to listen. He's trying to say, hey, look, I don't want to use my nose. I want to use my other senses. I want to use the easier senses, like the hearing and the sight. You know, he's not wanting to use that nose.
Okay, go ahead and pull him out. Here you go, Buck. Okay, what I want you to do is take him outside, take the muzzle off, put him back in your car. Hey, we're gonna come right back out and do something, okay? Okay. So just stay out there, take the muzzle off. You can keep it rolling. Hey, Spaghetti, here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna say the exact same spot. You are not opening the door. Do you understand? Shut that door, make sure that door is shut. We're gonna take the muzzle off, right? The muzzle potentially could be a distraction. I don't know. Let's find out. He is getting a little bit tired, sloppy. He's just sloppy, right? So we're gonna take the muzzle off. We want him to bark. Just don't open the door. Everything stays the same on your end. There's nothing that's going to change. Okay. Do not. I will open the door and say spaghetti 3 times. Okay. Before that. Okay. Okay. All right. Go ahead and shut it. Exact same spot. Okay, go ahead and hook him up and take him out.
Here. Do it again. He just, I mean, you've worked with him the last 3 years. He just seems a little flat today, doesn't he?
No.
No? I think he just doesn't seem like as spunky.
Well,
Seems a little shot. I don't know why.
yeah, it's hot outside. There's no doubt. Yeah, he's a little sloppy.
The muzzle, taking the muzzle off, didn't really change a whole lot.
So
Yeah.
the excuse is that we say, well, the muzzle, my dog can't work in the muzzle. My dog this and this and this. Like, that's not the issue. The muzzle is not the issue. Now, I will say the dog recovered a little bit more quickly without the muzzle, but that's not the issue. It's not the problem. Mm-hmm. Now, there is no problem, by the way. Mm-hmm. Remember, we're very deep into problem solving. You know what I'm saying? You have a dog that is bred for possession and it's bred for desire. It is bred for expectations from childhood, from 8 weeks old probably, all the way up to it met this guy and said, you know what? I'm not giving you that. Right? Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know, that dog, it's not as easy as the Eudoris, right? But training throughout these 3 years has helped him through certain situations. It's all better than the addiction, which is the suit, right? Right. I can't start it out this way, because if not, this dog's gonna say, dude, I ain't doing nothing. So we had to do specific things this whole time, but knowing that We're only doing it out of semantics, or I'm doing it out of semantics. But at its root, there's still a problem. You know what I mean? But it's not a problem. We're making it a problem. I'm making it a problem. I'm just showing, like, the muzzle causes this. No, it doesn't. There is a deeper issue that is experiencing at that moment. It's not, the muzzle is not causing anything. It is the foundation of where this dog's mindset is. It's in the mind of expectations and that. So you could say, yes, when they get tired, his tongue is actually hanging out of the hole. I agree with you, right? And it tends to get sloppy. And that goes with every dog, that goes with every human that gets out there. As you play a soccer game, second quarter, pretty close, you get sloppy, right? And this is when we talk about character, this is when we talk about disciplines, when we talk all these things, right? That a dog can't comprehend. But that being said, taking the muzzle off didn't really help with anything, but he's just still in that loop, man. He's just still in that loop. That's just him being a young child going, well, where's my fix? Where's my fix? Okay, there's something here, but where's my fix? We're giving him options, yeah? This is a controlled environment. What this dog understands, that I trust, and that has been implemented throughout this whole time, when you add this in reality, and you have somebody who's releasing pheromones, he's releasing negative energy, and we're talking about intuition, we're talking about reducing the desired base expectations from Buck, just reducing. I didn't say he's, oh, this is all. No, you were always going to have this. This will be, is what it is, because you're not here with me long enough to make this, right?
You're talking about his state of possession.
I'm talking, yes, correct.
Okay.
Turning possession into play and then turning it into fight. Like, let's say a Eudoris, having something that's all fight and excitement. Not to say that Buck doesn't have excitement when he's engaging, but some may say that's just frustration. That's excitement, but I say that that is frustration. Because if you see him engage through the muzzle, he's engaging through the muzzle. That's not exciting him, it's actually frustrating him.
Okay.
So his actions doesn't say the high-pitched bark that he has when he's muzzle fighting is not excitement. It's possession. The Eudoris that we see today, that is more fight. Not necessarily on excitement on the law enforcement side. I'm just more referring to that on a real deployment, that there is a level of understanding and that there is a person there, energy-wise, that is different than all these other things, which that helps Buck understand specific things. As opposed to, let's say, a military dog that is in a whole nother reality of people, as opposed to cops, they take everybody away, as opposed to military, they go in and, patrolling and there's people. Does that make sense? And everything is in everybody's worlds and the dog must decipher a whole lot of things. It's a very difficult thing, as opposed to Buck, it's more controlled as much as you can. The end of the track is kind of controlled. The building search is kind of controlled, right? Society is not happening in there when you're releasing him. So there's an end state, there's a draw, there's a pull, okay? But we must dilute the desire a little bit for him to have an awareness of that exists. Are we tracking?
Yeah.
As opposed to feeding the addiction of bite suit, bite suit, bite suit, bite suit, bite suit, bite suit. Next thing you know, anybody who goes in a room, they're getting bit. Anybody, if accidental bites, walking past the camera guy, boom, gets bit. Whoa, geez, oh my God. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's what we've been working on the last 3 years, is
That's
diluting
it.
the possession.
Because it takes time. You're looking at a dog that's doing 8 weeks old, his whole life. Not only that, generational subconscious impulses of possession, his whole life. So it takes time. So I'm not saying now, here it is. No, it's just, this is a slow process. But once again, it doesn't have to be this deep. But we must dive down in the ocean, go to the deepest, and have an understanding that as we go to the next stage, 20 feet, 60 feet, yada, 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 regroup, get some air, yada, yada, before you just can't go straight to the surface. We've got to slowly marinate ourselves and work our way up and have an understanding of what is happening. And when you do that, you have an alignment. The fact is that that dog still alerted on a dude not cueing him to do anything, right?
And he was civil. No
And it was
equipment.
so, of course.
Yeah.
Right? So this is not a dig on anything. This is just where we're going so far on the bottom of the ocean to where most people don't exist in here, because they set up the environment to make everything look great and everything look successful, and say, look, and then in turn make excuses about, well, the muzzle does this, muzzle does that. It's like, no. Muzzle has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, and our
when it
first
comes
run
down.
shows that. The one with the lights off, when he indicates on the 3 doors, I mean, that shows it.
Right. I was just more not saying the muzzle is an excuse for anything when it comes down to you.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
saying for trainers society in this industry that say muzzle,
I'm tracking.
oh, my dog doesn't do that in a muzzle because it gets distracted because my dog can't work in a muzzle. Or it's like there's a deeper issue. If the dog has an understanding, he'll work in anything.
Stella.
Okay, let's pull him outside, and then you're gonna take the muzzle off. Okay. Thought on that?
It was weird. Like he stuck his nose down in there a couple times, and then with the muzzle on, he just left it. Like, I don't know.
Even with the muzzle off.
Yeah, even with the muzzle off, he did it a couple times. He did it once or twice as well.
Yeah.
But you saw where he was rubbing himself down the wall. That's the stuff that I was talking to you about, you know, a week or so ago. You know, about how he just does that. It's just like, why are you doing that? You know.
It is a form of just frustration. He's releasing some kind of, you can call it frustration, you can call it conflict. What's the conflict? Or you could say, well, okay, it's frustration of what? What is the frustration so that way I can help, right?
I mean, he come in the first run, he banged it, and now he's, you know, now he's doing this.
He's not getting it right away. And we got Papa Bear going, you better get to it. You better find this. Because I don't want a failure. I don't want a mistake. And that is coming out of him shaking and getting and doing all that. That just is the action. That's just my take. Because if you express it to me like how you just said it, then, well, in the first run he didn't do it. Okay, on the second run, okay, he's going up and down the hallway. Now there's a little bit coming from this end of, hey, I know you're not saying it, but sometimes you don't have to say anything. Sometimes you just feel it, right? It's like, It's like, come on, dude. What the fuck? You know better. You better than this, right? So it's like, you know, even though his dog was doing it, exact same thing, right?
Yeah.
Exact same thing.
Yeah.
Is he seeing that in a whole nother way? Meaning, is it his dog is different than yours? I would say, obviously, yeah. Like, your dog is not going, okay, I want to do right, but your dog did turn and look at us and sit and had some kind of expectation. What is it that you want from me? The difference is Eudoris is not doing that.
Right.
Eudoris is hunting because that's what he's supposed to do. I'm supposed to hunt. I'm going to find something and I will do this all day. His dog was just like, what do you want? So there's the difference,
Right.
but it's the same meaning.
Yeah.
Are we tracking? So it's just a form of that. And a lot of it has to deal with over time of like, fuck, you know? And I was going to bring up, because both of you didn't, when Eudoris and Buck alerted on the door, you hooked him up or you did the tone, you brought him back, and there was nothing that was said on the way out. I'm not saying that you had to say something.
Right.
I'm just going off of the feeling of that environment. When you did that, both of it is like, yeah, you fucked up. Doesn't, like I said, I didn't say that you had to say good job, because we can fake it all day long, but looking at the judgment of the look at the stature, I'm not saying you now or then, I'm just saying typically it's just like, fuck that. Hey, good job, you did. Oh, you're a fucking piece of shit. Does that make sense? Like, so I'm not saying you had to say something or you had to say something.
I got a question on that.
Yeah.
So if we were to maybe praise him on the way out, oh, good boy, whatever, and it's not genuine, he's going to sense that, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're better off not saying at all, because who are you? You're not faking the dog. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Right. So you're saying if we would have felt that, we should have praised him on the way out. Not saying we should have, though.
If you felt that amongst your, you know what I mean? Like, fuck. Yeah, I would have been, hey, be more like, hey, good job, man. Hey, good job. You know? But, yeah, because you could say that, what did the dog gain from this? Did the dog gain anything? Both dogs, did they gain anything? Absolutely. They found the dude and they barked. They knew it was right. How did we know that they knew it was right? The tails were wagging. They were barking. Yeah. The difference is that you just took them. There's nothing, the dog kind of walked out there like, okay, all right, cool. Which was, like I said, that was more of a neutral response from the dog. Not like I'm prancing, look what I did. It was a neutral state from the dog. But there was a feeling of like, this is fucked up. And that's what the purpose of everything is to find the deeper, is there a deeper issue? The issue is not him going through the hallway and him hitting the hall. That's not an issue. If it was an issue, I would have brought it up to you, and I would have brought it up to you. That's not an issue to me. Now, should the dogs do that? Should we doing this? Well, right now we have a problem. We're exposing a problem, which is how much the dogs have been cued over a certain amount of time. Whether it's by the decoys, whether it's by the environment, whether it's by this. Now you come into another place and there is an expectation from the dogs. And you guys, I'm the only one that works with your dog, so I'm digging myself. I'm not digging anybody. I'm letting you guys understand that this is a serious issue to a certain point. Because in reality, you guys control the environment so much and that environment helps you that everything is going to be okay. But there is a deeper level to this that nobody understands and that everybody makes excuses for. Whether the dog too tired or because of the muzzle, because of this, because of that. It's like, no, the dog is only conditioned to do specific things. And after that, it's just done by force.
Okay, so
hold on.
All right.
Why is this important? Because on, let's say, active shooter canine dogs, in this environment, it is all done through intuition. It's all done through understanding, and it's all done through knowing. Right? There's a deeper understanding in this style of dog, into the Eudoris brand, into this whole process. There's a deeper understanding. And when you get this deeper understanding and you have clarity, man, we're running on all cylinders. Right? I'm not going to say there's not going to be a problem, because there always is something. There always is. There should be. If not, then there's if there's no trouble, then there's confusion.
You say the dog learned something by taking the muzzle off and letting him go in there.
No, I didn't.
What did he say? He said something to that effect.
I'm just saying,
You said was it beneficial?
Yeah, did the dogs leave there without something?
Okay, so my question is, so here's where my question is coming from. All right, he didn't want to do it with the muzzle on, so we took the muzzle off and let him do it and gave him the reward that way. So are we not then conditioning him, say, okay, just don't do whatever you don't want to do in a muzzle, and I'm going to take it off of you, and then I'm going to let you do what you want to do?
Yeah, just because we did it one time, that's not conditioning.
Right.
Okay, that's the first thing.
Right.
Second thing, you used big words. The dog didn't want to do it.
Well, he didn't, because he stuck his nose down there several times.
Right.
So I mean, he didn't want to do what he was what he is conditioned to do.
It's not that the fact he didn't make the choice. I don't want to do this. There is a level of understanding of what it is that he expects at that scene. Presence versus memory, like a person, which is breath. That is a person.
Okay.
Through just a person standing there.
Okay.
And not, let's say, cueing the dog.
Okay.
With no set time. I didn't have Eric in there in that room setting this whole time.
Right.
We were in the hallway with no set time.
Yeah.
Right. So when you were ready, Eric went in the room, sat down. There is something. It's not that the fact that he didn't want to do it. It's just he's in a loop of a memory versus something that's actually there. Presence and then memory. Memory is locked in of all the conditioning, all the past experiences, breath that people give him, a bite suit in this particular case, and his dog, bite suit, and your dog. You've done a lot of bite suit stages of this when there was no muzzle. Whether it's a shift, whether some kind of help. You can call it the word cue, or you can call it some kind of help. Or it's some kind of conditioning that always is in that particular spot. I.e. like my hallway where it's one on the right, I always do that. Like I said, I'm exposing that even to myself, and that's okay, because there's a time and place for certain things.
Right.
Right? At some point, we got to go boom and take it and go and shift it and go, hey, because it's loop. It's a loop that's just continuous conditioning in memory. That's why I'm saying memory. It's just everything on the past and memory of the body and in the mind of the dog. Now you have presence. Presence is at this current moment, which is sensei with no release, no nothing, no breath. He's holding his breath as much as he can, and not, could you say, cueing or helping the dog. Now, could we look at it from the stance of, should that dog alert on this? Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, he just did it.
Well, he did it, but I'm just trying to say more efficiently.
Yeah.
But we have to understand the loop. Now, could you say, well, the loop is only in this building?
No, the loop's not only in this building.
It's not only in this building. So there's a loop that carries over with the dog, right? And no matter wherever it is that he goes.
Yeah.
Okay? It's just bringing it up and exposing it. That's all this is. It's going, hey, man, moving forward, what is it that we do? Well, I don't know. Right now, I'm taking the sand underneath the water and doing this and going, okay, all right, well, how is it that we do this? Because if we can get some kind of momentum here, you take that momentum and then you build it over there. And then we just take that loop and we break it and then just, start something else. The good thing is that both dogs are doing it, both dogs coming from me. But to answer the question is that he didn't want to, he does, or else he wouldn't be here. He does, because if we'd still be standing there, he'd still be doing the exact same thing. So he does want to be here.
Yeah.
His body is not going to let him not have a choice, because he's just going to do things over and over again just by loop.
Right.
But he does want to do it. He does.
I'm not saying he doesn't want to do it. I'm just saying he just didn't want to do it at that exact moment in that muzzle. Like he was protesting, saying, yeah, I know what to do, but I'm not going to do it right now.
Yeah.
Just kind of like a adolescent teenager that you tell them go take out the trash or clean their room, and they're like, no, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And he's just got a little attitude, and he's just like, I'm not going to do it right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I got this thing on my face I don't want to do here. I don't want to do it right now.
Yeah. It's not necessarily the thing on the face, though. It's not the reasoning behind on the thing on the face.
Well, then
the thing on the face, it helped when you took it off. Finally, after a couple of times he went to it. Oh, it's like, oh, okay, with both dogs.
Right.
So it's not because it's the thing on the face. It's not because of that.
Okay. Then I guess we're going to have to figure out what it is, because that was the only thing that changed in that entire environment.
Yeah.
Out of everything there, that was the only thing that changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to not say that it wasn't that when that's the only variable in that entire experiment that we pulled out of it.
Yeah.
And now the experiment worked.
Yeah. That's because there's a specific reason for that why that was done. If not, we could stay there and wait for them to do it.
Right.
Like how the other hallway went. We stayed there until it was done.
Right.
Now, this time, I didn't spend that long staying there until it was done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could have turned down the light and go back to the first original thing, because it's not the same, because the light was on.
Well,
meaning as the one before.
Right. To me, that's two different experiments.
Right, but if you want to go back to the original one.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get that. Yeah.
Okay.
Then we did take it out
off
there. But I'm talking about the experiment with the lights on.
I'm tracking.
That was the only variable we pulled out of it.
Yeah, with the light, when you compare it to the other one. Now, I cut it short, so that way is to pull the muzzle off, because of the fact that you're looking at what people usually say. The muzzle is the problem. When both dogs had 2 or 3 chances to hit that door without the muzzle, and they didn't.
Right.
But
I'm
But
tracking.
you can say, well, we took the muzzle off, and
Right.
you can. And
No,
you
but
can
he
walk
was still
away
stuck
there.
in the loop. He was
Correct.
still in that loop.
It's the loop is what it is
Right.
that we're looking at.
Yeah.
It is the loop. It's very important to literally push everything away, belief systems and all these things, and go, that's the loop. That's the issue.
Yeah. No, I'm
Yes,
tracking.
I agree with you on the fact that the muzzle can cause certain things.
Right.
Right? But also, the muzzle, the dogs are not putting their effort in that time on the entire door.
Right.
They are expecting something in something else. So they're not fully going to the door
Right.
and making this. And yes, the muzzle causes them not to get the air that they should if they did whatever. But in hindsight, do the entire door. Do the entire door. So once again, what is causing the loot? And it is something that is done on the sustainment side. Hide placement, this and this and this, that goes to a certain, you know, not to say that, like I said, not to say that these dogs are bad. It's not what I'm saying. I'm just trying to say is that there is the root of everything.
Right. I'm tracking.
So, all right. I do want to do this again, but I want to come in a different way.
I was gonna say.
We haven't had a long time on a suit.
I was gonna say. I don't know.
Yeah. It's like having the first drink. When the addict has his first drink, that dog's gonna be like, oh. So I don't know if that'd be a good idea, but in this particular case, both dogs are gonna snap their heads.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
okay, all right. That's why it's just like, if I take this and push this out, meaning have a long search pattern, you put a dude without a suit there, they're gonna smoke it.
Yeah.
Because when you close and turn this area into a chess game, meaning just this hallway, you turn this into a chess game, the dog has a mindset of the conditioning expectation. Oh, no door here. What the freak? Oh, and it's kind of going back to the old way, right? And then the dog's doing this and it forgets because of the past experiences of what's happened in that sight picture.
Yeah.
Right? So this is what I'm thinking, is that if I do it this way, both dogs are going to be correct, even if we didn't have a suit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, so if we keep it in the original sight picture of the hallway only, and then put a person with a suit and do the exact same thing to see the quick responses, because that is the cue that helps the dog understand. That's the expectation. Spaghetti, you will be in this first room right here. Again, we'll send the dogs in through here with the muzzle. We'll just see once when they come to here, they got it, like, oh shit. We'll know the intent. We'll know when they, as opposed to nonchalantly, kind of like how before. Does that make sense? We'll see the intent on the dog. Okay, so that being said, and then we'll take you, Eric, and then we'll put you down another end of the hallway and we'll do it again. Come on, bud. Okay, pull him out. Pull him out.
Here.
Keep the muzzle on. Don't take the muzzle off, go right back out there. This is outstanding for this dog, by the way. Did you guys see the intent on that? He was like, whoa, 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 whoa. But I'm going to push into that D17. So I'm pushing into this room. Once when I get here, tell him he can go in there and send him. If I'm not in this room, don't tell him to go send him because I picked the wrong room, yeah? Okay, that's where I'm going. Did he alert on that door? Is that who you barked at, or he barked when you sent him?
Barked when he sent it.
Okay. Okay. Pull him, call him out. Come here, Buck. Okay. You can go back in this room, take the muzzle off.
Same thing?
Same thing. Okay. And then take him out.
Good boy. Pull again. Yes, sir.
The fact that he didn't alert on the suit is, I am so happy, by the way. You know, which was never an issue lately anyway. But it's always good to know, yeah?
Yeah.
But we can also turn around and say, what is it? I have an idea, right? I just don't want to say it right now. Yes, we took the muzzle off. He went up and down the hallway a couple more times, and he alerted on the door and committed to it. Because he alerted on this door, he just didn't commit to it. When I switched it, and I went up there just to see if he would alert on me or not, you know what I mean? Because it's just like, what is he searching for? Is he searching for me as a trainer? No, that's not the case. Is he searching for the guy without the suit? It didn't matter. He knew I was in there. Or he smelled pretty intently there to the point where I was like, ooh, is he going to alert? No. He did the exact same thing to me into the suit. So let's do it with Jake. You ready? Okay. Okay, call him back.
Eudoris.
Just go outside real quick. Keep the muzzle on.
All right.
Okay, give me Dylan. When you go in this room, all you do this. That's it. That's all I want you to do is kind of look up in the air, go whatever, whatever, and once when that dog commits to the door with 3 barks, open the door and cover yourself. You've done it before, okay?
Muzzle fight.
Muzzle fight. Okay? So the key thing is minimum of 3 barks. If you feel that you want 6, then get 6. Okay? But it's 3 barks. That's a commitment. Okay?
Which door?
Far door. Furthest door on the right. him out. Just take him out. No praises, just roll.
I mean, that was the room that the scenario.
Yeah, but that's not.
But that's gone.
It's a right side thing. It's a right brain constant. I'm avoiding the first 3 doors, as you guys can tell. And that's why I put myself and him in the furthest one on the right. It's like, it's not the one with the heart on. You know, it's not that side. It's still the same side, but it's not the doors that it's just like there's expectation coming from.
Yeah.
It's just interesting on both dogs knowing that there's the suit there. You see the difference in the behaviors, like, yeah. And they both moved on and continue, which is great. Continuing for what? That is the question.
Right.
Both dogs. Continuing for what? And him, I didn't want to put myself with Eudoris because just me alone could potentially cue him.
Right.
Not necessarily for your dog. That's why I did it for your dog. That's why I didn't do it for him.
Yeah.
Okay. He definitely went 3 times and fit. If anything, I expected him to do that personally. That's kind of where I was like, okay, he's going to get this piece here. But he did the exact same thing. And then it's just weird that he finally comes back down to there and then commit on that door.
Right.
So
When he partially committed earlier,
and
then he moved
same
on.
goes with his dog, partially committed earlier.
But I mean, I don't remember his dog barking
Oh,
and scratching.
No, but the intent was there. That's when you came in, I played it. The intent was there, yeah.
Okay.
Not barking and scratching like how yours did, and then he moved on. His was kind of like he did the circle. He's like, definitely, the dog's like, oh shit, but then went on.
Yeah.
And then finally came back when he took the muzzle off, came back and then did it after a few times. He went.
Yeah.
I was rooting for him to say if he had a choice between here and there, it would be there. But I don't think whatever it is that you put underneath these doors, what is happening? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? So we can't say one dog loves the suit more than this. It has nothing to do with that.
Right.
At all, right? Even though it's a form of that in possession of what is happening, but it doesn't always have to be a form of possession. But if it was a form of possession, I think both dogs would have alerted on the first time. Does that make sense? If it was a form of, it's a stem of it because both dogs end up alerting on it, but there was this impulse of not to.
Mm-hmm.
And you say, well, what is it? And what would it be? Do you know what it is? Nothing's kind of coming up. Dylan, anything, that one word that's coming up?
Other than possession?
Yeah, we just talked about it. It's a stem, but it's not the root of it because if it was, then both dogs would have stayed on the suit, which is my interpretation of possession. It would have stayed on it. They both came in and was like, oh, yeah. And then they moved on. Okay, and then eventually they both came back to it and alerted on it because it's a safe place in the sense of like, okay, and maybe an understanding. Not a safe place, that's not a good
Like a discipline? Is that what the word?
No.
No?
Okay, but a discipline of what then?
To knowing the job?
Well, technically, what is the job right now?
Finding the bad guy.
Right, but
what? I mean, that's the
okay,
job.
but
Locating odor and finding the bad guy.
right. But your interpretation of a bad guy, is it a guy in a suit? No.
No.
But both dogs alerted on. I mean, technically, though, is Dylan a bad guy?
I mean, if he's hiding back there, yes.
Yeah. But is intent being bad?
No, he's not releasing the pheromones of.
Right. So what I'm just trying to say, so that premise in this particular case, I'm not going to gravitate towards it because there's no bad person in here. We're labeling it as such.
Find the decoy. Let's take out the bad guy words and say decoy.
Okay. Well, it's important, but
Well, I mean, okay.
But even in this particular case, if we had a true bad person who that we took off the street and placed him in here and forced him to do this, what would the dogs do on that? Because right now we put everything at them in the sense of a bite suit, which we talked about, has a whole lot of memory behind it. And they got excited, like boom, and they moved on, which I think, like I said, I think that's great. I think it's great that they did that.
Yeah.
Okay. But there was no recovery basis that was going on here. We gave them opportunities to go. They didn't even do that there.
Yeah.
Right? Meaning they didn't give that intent behind the suit when they smelled the suit.
Yeah.
What do you think?
About
Anything coming up? Like what? Like, I'm not saying that this is an issue. I'm not saying this is an issue. This is definitely an environmental, a sight picture type situation. But here's the thing, in this particular sight picture has formed a loop. And could this loop play out in your case? Could this loop play out in your case in a real type situation? And I'm going to say yes.
100%.
For good and for bad.
Yeah.
When you said the sight picture and the environment,
Yeah.
we're looking at the hallway, which is not a neutral environment, it's a controlled environment. Is that itself causing a loop versus if we came in through this door and we gained our threshold in here, and let's just say we did go this way, and instead of going down a hallway with 5 closed doors on each side, we had some open, some closed, and we moved fluidly, as we potentially would that kind of disrupt
Yes.
the loop
Yes.
in a way? So
Yes.
like, let's say Jake and Eudoris and the team go into a home in that setting versus like we're standing back here, and I know it's just a drill, like not supporting our dog, going with them and stuff. Could that potentially disrupt the loop?
Yes. Because movement from the handler is very important because it creates action, it creates understanding, it creates comfort, it creates a whole lot of things. New sight pictures within that, what it is that you describe, takes the loop and cuts it out, correct? Right? So to answer your question, yes. That's why this is not a problem. But you go at how far we go, is it a problem? Yes, it is, because it shows up everywhere.
It's kind of baffling because, like I said, the first run in the dark hallway, I mean, he did pretty damn well on all three doors, and then we go down here to this one with the lights on. It's like, hey, dog,
Kind of gets
deal?
real, right? The
Yeah.
background.
Like you're
background is-
sticking your nose down there, and then you halfway committed to the guy in the suit, but you're not staying committed. Like what's going on here? Like what's the deal? Why are you not doing that?
Yeah.
And then you stick a guy down there in the far end, goes in there and checks it, doesn't stick with him, but then comes back up and then all of a sudden decides to commit right here, 100% full bore. It's like, I don't know. I'm a handler. I'm not a trainer. And then why are you getting stuck on the one door on the right? I mean, he's had a hard on for that door in all runs. Not. So I'm not saying like the dark hallway, but I'm saying once we enter this hallway with the lights on, he has had a hard on for that one door in all the runs. It's like, what's in there that you like, but you're not liking the door with the guy behind it? What is it? What is your thinking, dog? What are you trying to tell me that's in that room? I halfway wanted to go down there and just pop the door and say, okay, dude, go in there and satisfy your curiosity. And then we can move the hell on and actually find the bad guy or the decoy.
Yeah.
Go satisfy your curiosity.
Yeah.
Get it over with.
Yeah. And I don't think that would have worked, but you could have done that and then it wouldn't have did anything wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
Being stagnant as a handler is putting them in the loop.
Yes. And the circle gets the square.
And then he can't bounce out of it because he's just like, what are we doing?
And it turns into expectations, turns into confusion, it turns into memory. You can also say, should it matter?
I don't think it should.
Right? I knew, right? So this is kind of me trapping you into a few things, but
Yeah.
because I know what your response is. Fuck no, it shouldn't matter. When I stand here and I do this, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. If I turn around and take a shit, I want that dog searching.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case is. If I do the release, the command, that dog should be doing this. Well, it's not the case. Not always the case. All the training that is conducted in the last year, which I haven't trained with you in this last year, right? Just consulting, just talking. I don't know what it is that you're doing, but probably whatever it is, it's within the construction of ops. It's flow. It's that sight picture, from one sight picture to this, to you moving this, it's all conditioning. It's all one. Now take it out and then turn around and go. That's why when we do the room with nothing, and I've done it with you in Iowa, we've done it here. And we just sat and do nothing. And what were the dogs doing? Fidgeting.
Right.
They're fidgeting. They pick up the ball, they drop the ball. They look at you, they sit on you, they turn around, they go in that room, they do this, they fidget. Because what is it that you're doing?
Nothing.
Nothing. What is it that we were doing?
Nothing.
When a bite suit was down on the ground, eventually he finally destroyed the bite suit to the point we had to take the bite suit away. It didn't happen right away. And then in turn, he went to you to grab this, to fidget with you. He's fidgeting, going to the holes, doing this, doing that, because we weren't doing anything. We are not doing anything at that threshold. We're standing there saying, find him, going, do this. We're not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
They are in a confused state. And who is it up to make them understand? Us, to make them understand. Yes, we can do it by the way that we present. But I'm just trying to tell you is that do we go further and try to figure something out? How do you keep a dog from fidgeting? Because that's, like I said, that's a form of what it is. It's fidgeting. I'm glad that we've done the state of nothing so that way you understand. Because if we didn't do that here, I think that potentially there are some things. Your dog recovered way quicker than yours. Meaning, what's the recovery from us doing nothing with the dogs? The dog's laying down and doing nothing. So in this room, like I said, we'd still be standing there. And what's a form of fidget? It's hunting. It's hunting. It's fidgeting.
Yeah.
Hunting is using the senses, and with the Eudoris is different than.
Okay, so how do we break that?
Yeah.
I mean, we've got I think we've established the problem now.
Yeah.
How do we fix that problem?
But is it a problem?
I mean, yeah. If he's not committing, and if I send my dog down a hallway to find someone, and he just continues to hunt, and now I have to go open the door, and he's not telling me that there's a guy there, but potentially I'm opening myself up to getting shot in the face.
Yeah. Have you seen this on a deployment? Have you seen this on a deployment?
I have not.
You've probably been way more deployed aspect and see this than you, but have you seen any?
No, I haven't. But we're rarely leading up to a situation where like it is a hallway. I'm not saying that's not realistic. Like we could move through here and then we come to a hallway and we're like, oh shit, boys, we got 4 closed doors. Like find them, send them down through. We could be in that situation where we take a pregnant pause at the threshold like we've been doing. But just typically there's more going on. There's dudes moving in and out. And so to find that loop on an actual deployment, no.
Okay. Jake?
So he gets a pass. Whenever you send a dog in the room, he gets one pass and then we're in. That's essentially what we do. If I send him down the hallway, he gets one pass to make sure that he's checked all the doors. Like I may hold for just a second. Like if he skips a door, I may hold for a second and let him go back down. And then if he checks that door, then it's like, all right, boys, 2 left, 2 right, let's roll.
Right.
And then we're popping doors, and he's train hopping and he's going ahead of us and going through the door, but then my guys are still flowing in right after him. So no, like there's not a lot of nothingness sitting there letting him try to figure shit out. He gets 1 pass down the hallway. He may get 2 if I see that he hasn't checked the door.
Yeah.
But then once he's checked the doors, it's like, all right, dog, we're rolling.
Okay. I don't know the last deployment, but maybe the deployment where a situation that you were speaking of, you were down a hallway It was a closed door, was it an open door, the door that he went in? Was it open or closed?
He nudged the door open because we were flowing up to it and he was ahead of us and the door was closed. And then of course we're looking because there's an open area this way that opens up into a bigger barn. Of course it had been burnt down, but there was still a big open space over there. Okay. And then we're cross covered. Then the next thing you know.
Did the other doors he tried to open? Or do you
No,
know?
that was the only door in there.
Oh, it was the only door. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Everything else was like a big open shop bay with, you know,
Okay.
there was no doors. It was just open portals
Yeah.
and he was going in and coming back out.
Understanding what you're saying, because you could say, hey, in a trailer home where
Yeah.
you know it's you can't get a whole TAC team in. It's one or two guys and it's down a hallway, and you are putting in a scene that's like this.
So
right? Meaning of
the last deployment we had, there was a house, 2-story house in Lexington. We called out 3 guys. We go in, as you step through the door, it goes straight down into the kitchen and like a living room area, and then there's stairs over here. I flow in and I've got down toward the kitchen. I send him that way, he goes down, there's an open door to the left, which is a bathroom. He goes in there, checks it, comes back out, goes around into the kitchen. As we get into the kitchen, there's another room straight ahead and then another room to the right. Okay. He checks the seams of those. We go up there, open the door, let him go in, let him go, and then he goes to the other door, checks the seams. We open the door, he goes in ahead of us. We come back out, we get to the stairwell. I send him up the stairwell. Mm-hmm. I let him get to the top. I hear him go
but
up.
that's more big picture. Like that's
Right.
more of movement and flow and doing
Yeah.
things. That is not.
But all those doors up there were open.
Right, but I'm just more of expressing like a trailer home that is, you open up the door and then you have like kind of a hallway or an open space, but into a hallway.
Yeah.
And to where you can't move a lot, right? And that you are looking at a sight picture to where the dog doesn't have a choice but to be in the presence of you not moving.
Right.
That's what I'm getting at.
Okay.
Not flow, which is what it is that you're describing, right? As opposed to stuck. Something that's going to be caused for them to be stuck in a loop of make the choice. But it's like, but hold on, who truly makes the choice?
I mean, we do.
Yes. That's, once again, we got to circle back and go, you make the choice.
Yeah.
No matter what, right? The handler makes the choice. And when the dogs are caught into a sight picture, they're not making the choice. They're in a confused state. The issue is when the canine is stuck under the umbrella of the handler. Now, that's really what it is. Think about it when the dog is stuck on the hip lead that you come in. The dog has no choice.
Right.
He doesn't. He has to be with you. And you are the release. So, in turn, the dogs are confused because they're stuck in that loop of, what do you want me to do?
No.
Eudoris! Good boy! You! Come on, buddy. Good job, bud.
But it's all good. So hence why, you see what I did here? I shot down the hallway to create a direction and then got into place to kind of to help him. If that is the issue, but we'll see here. I don't remember. Yeah.
Let's do that slow-mo.
Yeah.
So explain why you shot right there.
I shot right there to create a distinct direction. So I'm shooting on the farthest left, besides going on this side, shooting on the left side. So as he comes in and moves, that as he comes down this hallway, he hears the gunfire here. That's why I did that piece, to help distinguish direction. but it does echo. This is just me going, will this dog or is this dog going off the direction of the sound to make the choice? Not because of condition to always go right or always go left or always go in this room. Regardless of that, the noise supersedes the direction. The gunfire supersedes everything. There he goes. Oh. He's turning. He's turning. Nice. That's good. He wasn't locked in.
Right.
No, wasn't locked in.
Yeah, once we got halfway down there, he was good.
That's great. That's great. All right, cool. Yeah, that's without doing anything.
Did he hit the hand or did he hit the gun?
While I was here, he hit right here. He hit right here. And because of that, now whether or not I'll have to do it in a slow mo, but if maybe I shifted, but I don't foresee him going at
You just dropped it as soon as you just dropped.
And because it was a great hit, I just dropped it. It's just like that, just that force was there. The other one, he still went high, but I think it got caught on the sheet. So he hit, but it was just like, what did he hit? Well, he hits sheet, seeing the video. But this one, you know, I don't know if what happened. He was just more direct, but the second one, he also went high. We want him to go high, no matter what. We want the dog to go high and not go low in this particular case. So not going after the gun, going after the person high. So when the dog, and this is part of my muzzle hits low versus high, I'll go into that. But there's a big, huge understanding on high versus low hits. Okay. Huge.
It's huge.
Massive. Only in my world, though. Anybody else? They're going, that guy's an idiot. Fucking cares. Yeah. All right. I got to go check my kids.